Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. This video we're going to be comparing silver to Bitcoin. This may be a little controversial. Some people may not agree with me, but that's okay. The beautiful thing about investing is we get to choose what we invest into. If you're judging, if you're so focused on someone else's strategy or what they're doing, you're probably not focusing enough on your own. What works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. I've invested into Bitcoin and silver for several years, so I'm coming from an unbiased perspective. I do think that precious metals will be the safest, smartest alternative, always, to the dollar. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is still profitable. There's still a lot of potential. There's a lot of room to grow with Bitcoin. And I think in a couple of years, Bitcoin will be astronomically higher than it is now. I invest in a Bitcoin. I made $600 in one day yesterday. $600 from holding Bitcoin. I had $5,000 of Bitcoin in my Exodus wallet. The next morning I look, there's $5,600 of Bitcoin in my wallet. That's the beauty of crypto. It's fast, it's instant, but that can also be dangerous. Precious metals is a longer term preservation of wealth. It's a hedge against inflation. If you cannot hold it, you do not own it. That's the saying of the stackers. You can't hold Bitcoin. You can hold the laptop that stores your Bitcoin, but if there's a power outage, if Coinbase shuts down, then your Bitcoin's gone. That's why if you are going to buy Bitcoin, use a cold wallet, download Exodus. If you don't have a laptop on your phone, download the Jax wallet, Jaxx. Go to Exodus. If you have a laptop, you'll get a 12-word phrase. Your account will be stored offline. So even if Exodus shuts down or whatever, your Bitcoin is still safe. If you want to go even a further step, you can get a hard wallet, or you can even get a paper wallet. You can get your Bitcoin stored on a piece of paper printed out that you can put in an envelope or wherever. There are some alternatives. If you hold it on Coinbase, that's extremely risky. Extremely risky. They call that a hot wallet because it's stored online. But anyways, that's enough rambling. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, I have several videos I posted in 2017 about it. This video is comparing silver to Bitcoin. And I'm talking about this right now because these two assets in particular have my interest the most. I'm buying a lot of silver and I own a lot of Bitcoin. And from an investor's perspective, these two things are where the real money is. Silver, not gold. My name is Silver Slayer, not Gold Slayer. Once upon a time, my name was Crypto Slayer on my second channel. Now it's Silver Slayer 2, where I only talk about our corrupt financial system. I'll be posting on there soon, by the way. Stay tuned. Subscribe. So, both of these investments are rebellious. They're they go against the grain. A lot of people don't like them. A lot of people are going to call Bitcoin a scam. A lot of people are going to say precious metals is a bear market. A lot of people will. It's scary to go against the grain. A lot of people, suit and tie, mainstream media, news, people that want to trust the government, those people look at these assets, these investments, they don't want to believe that they're profitable because it's scary to say that our system is corrupt. But here's the thing. We cannot deny the truth. We see we're $27 trillion in debt. We see the dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power. We see what's happening as time goes by. The dollar is becoming more and more worthless, so we need an alternative. Now, I used to say precious metals is the only alternative, but there is this new digital currency. It's not really new anymore, but it is becoming, I guess, a household name now, which is Bitcoin. It's a global coin. There's only one Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin to China, Bitcoin to USA. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. That's like the entire world speaking the same language on a monetary form. Imagine how beneficial it would be if the entire world spoke English. That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is, I could sell someone Bitcoin in China. No conversion, none of that stuff. It's digital with instant transactions, zero to little fees, and it's decentralized. There's no bank of Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin police. You are in control, just like precious metals. There's a lot of similarities between precious metals and cryptocurrency, if you want to believe it or not. A lot of people won't believe it, but it's true. Very similar. Just precious metals you can hold in your hand, Bitcoin you can't. You got to learn how to adapt and adjust. A lot of old timers, a lot of old schoolers on here, they're going to say that Bitcoin is crap. And that's okay, but try to keep an open mind and adjust and adapt. I'm sure a lot of you guys could have made a lot of money if you would have listened to me back in 2017, but you doubted me, or you didn't want to believe that something else could be that profitable. So, anyways, let's get back to the point. As I roll my sleeves up, Bitcoin is decentralized. Meaning, if anyone's going to change something to Bitcoin, everyone has to vote. I have just as much power of Bitcoin as you do. Anyone who owns Bitcoin, they are a part of its change. There is no central bank, so nothing shady can go on behind the scenes. Everything is publicly stored on the blockchain. That's why when JP Morgan called Bitcoin a scam, and then they got caught buying millions of dollars of Bitcoin afterwards once they shot the price down from scaring everyone that sold it right then. They did it on purpose. They called Bitcoin a scam because they knew people would panic sell, shot the price down, then they bought millions of dollars in Bitcoin shortly after so they could get it for cheaper. But how did they get caught? Because the blockchain stores every transaction publicly for everyone to see. If that was the government, that would have been covered up, hidden, no one would have known. But Bitcoin the blockchain is public. A lot of new innovations as we advance technologically. Bitcoin ATMs, we're going to a new digital era. If we were going to think about a new type of currency, it would be something like Bitcoin. There's still a lot of rough draft phases. I don't think it would be Bitcoin, something like it. Probably Ripple or Tether. Tether's pegged to the US dollar. There's a cryptocurrency called Tether. It's always worth $1. Always. Ripple, I also say that could be it because Ripple's actually owned by a central bank. And yes, it's that confusing. A central bank owns a decentralized form of money. But anyways, I want to focus more on precious metals here. I just want to give you guys some backstory. A lot of people, this is a precious metals channel mainly, so a lot of you might not know about Bitcoin. Maybe I just opened a door. Maybe I just sparked something in you. If you're going to invest into anything though, do your research, understand the markets, and be careful. Only invest as much as you're willing to lose. Just like with GSX, I've been investing into it stands for gold secured currency. It's a crypto backed by physical gold. They own gold mines. It's yearly. It's honestly mind blowing how innovative this company is. The link's in the description if you want to check it out. But even with that, if you're going to invest in anything, invest as much as you're willing to lose because any investment's risky. Any investment is. Precious metals is definitely the safest, and that's why I like GSX because it is backed by physical gold, so there's actually intrinsic value to that. Bitcoin, nothing's backing it. It's used for things, but there's nothing backing it. Anything backed by precious metals is safer in my eyes. Look what happened when our dollars, when we were on the gold standard, when our money was backed by gold. The dollar was great. It wasn't until we got rid of the gold standard when inflation kicked in and the dollar spiraled out of control. So when we're looking at investing, precious metals or crypto, they both make sense in my eyes. They both do. Precious metals is just safer, smarter. In the next 5 years, I'm sure Bitcoin... No. Let me put it like this. Take that back. In the next 2 years, Bitcoin will probably, in my opinion, this is my opinion, Bitcoin will probably be more profitable than silver. You could make more money with Bitcoin. If you invested $10,000 in Bitcoin, $10,000 in silver, in the next 2 years, Bitcoin will probably make you more money. In the longer term, I think silver would be the winner though. Bitcoin is short term. Use the profits from Bitcoin to reinvest that money into more precious metals. That's what I do. It makes sense. A plus B equals C. quick flip some money, get some quick money under your belt so you can use that for real investments. See, that's what investors do. They flip stuff, put it into more money so that makes them more money. I mean, it makes sense, right? So I hope that you guys don't hate me too much. I hope that you aren't going to tear me apart in the comments too much. I'm trying to speak from an unbiased, realistic investor's perspective. I mean, if you actually listen to what I'm saying, knowing my history between these two assets, I mean, that's the truth. You can't really argue the truth. You can try to tell your opinion or whatever and give your judgment, but being honest in what I'm saying, they both do make sense in some type of way when you're looking at how corrupt our financial system is and some of the alternatives. A lot of people will lose money to Bitcoin, though, because they don't understand the markets. You got to buy at the right time. You got to sell at the right time. Most people bought Bitcoin at $18,000 in 2017, sold it at like $10,000. They bought it when all the hype is around. Everyone's talking about it. Coinbase, the #1 downloaded app on Android and iOS. But then when it goes down to $10,000 for almost like half a year, almost a year, people are like, oh, it's dead. I might as well cash out. But now look, now it's at $32,000. Imagine if you wouldn't have sold. A lot of people lost $10,000. They could have made $20,000. Buy the dips, sell the tops. Time is irrelevant in investing. See, those people got impatient. Patience is key. They bought it at $18,000. They were like, man, I just lost all this money. You made the decision to sell at $10,000. You could have held on to it, had faith, had patience, and now you could have sold at $32,000, which would still be selling yourself short in the grand scheme of things. But you see how it's all perspective. It's all understanding how things work. Most people were too new into the world of Bitcoin to try to invest into it. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe. I post daily videos. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.